very profound moment, and to be quite honest with you, I don't even know if I put this in the book. But I had come back from treatment, and after watching my son, Drew, my third child, be born, and I walked through after relapsing 40 days into it. And I walked through the door, and this little Italian guy who ran the facility that I was at in New York looked me dead in the eye and said, "Why don't you do the most admirable, courageous thing of your life and get away from your children? Let them go. Let them heal. Let them live, because all you do is sink them." And that night I went to bed and I contemplated whether or not I should. And from that moment on, I decided to be their dad. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened in the past was the past. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was a very spiritual moment for me. It was a crossroad, and I was very close to letting my kids go.
And you know, you say there's a big spiritual component to that, to you, and that's what I want to ask you about. Is I'm gonna ask you, is this the final act? Because I do see salvation, and I do see a lot of spiritual aspects to it. The nuns allowed you to use the gym, and that's what helped you get the school going.
Yeah.
And then you say that you pray regularly for help with this, because it can't hurt.
Can't hurt, and I need every prayer that I can get. So, you know, there's a very spiritual aspect. See, I think there's a spiritual aspect to everything. Mm-hmm. It's just you got to see if you're aware of it. Mm-hmm. You know, and fortunately enough, today I am aware of it. And the nuns, at 8 months sober, heroin addict, felonies on my record, handed me a key to not only their gym, but to their whole school, and said, you know, let's go on. Let's help yourself. Let me help you get back on track. And from that has become a great company that I've started. But the spiritual side to this is amazing.
Well, it really is amazing. I mean, that the nuns would actually, just as you said, give you the keys to the gym, knowing that there's kids in schools with school there with all of your problems at this point, and that somehow this would be the light out. Yeah,
and they, you know, they said that's what Christianity is all about, forgiveness. You know, and she's actually not a nun. The nuns there's 2 nuns that live on campus that had to okay it, but the principal, Donna Glavin, she said, you know something, this is what it's about. It's about forgiveness and allowing, you know, someone else to move forward in life, and they did that for me. So,
let's talk a little bit about the basketball camp and the rules that you have there, because I've been involved in youth sports on a very minor level with around here, and it's your philosophy really resonates with me as well, and I think it resonates with a lot of the people that hope to get the best out of youth sports, because you make a point that it's really not about basketball, it's about the things you can learn from basketball. I mean, that is what youth sports is supposed to be about. Most of these kids are not going to be playing in college or the NBA or...
It's about building self-esteem and character and knowing, see, I know there's an end. You know, some kids don't. Some kids like me thought that you'd play basketball forever. But I know there's an end to it. Some end earlier than others. Most do. So if I can have an impact on a kid where they feel comfortable in their own skin, you know, they're happy to return to play the sport, and stay fit and stay healthy, you know, then I've accomplished my goal with them. And hopefully their parents. Unfortunately, parents mess up the whole process.
We tend to, don't we?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You have 4 rules at the camp, and they are to encourage each other, that there be no bullying, no laughing at one another, and don't make anyone feel less than you.
Yes, no doubt about it.
How do you get that accomplished? I mean, because those are easier said than done with youth sports.
Yeah, I tell them that their money will be refunded immediately. I have that talk with the whole camp when it starts with the parents there, that if I see any of this behavior, that, you know, their kids will be, you know, won't be allowed back, because I don't want, there's kids, most kids aren't good at basketball. You know, I have a basketball camp with 100 kids, 15 are good.
Yeah.
You know, the others really aren't. They're just trying to stay busy, stay active, and kind of fit in. And when a kid doesn't fit in to something, I think things go sour quick for that child. You know, and I don't want to start that process at a young age. You know, I don't want a group of 6th to 8th grade girls, some girl never coming back to play a sport because she had a bad experience at my camp. There's no way that's happening.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.